Welcome to Extra. I'm Joanne Hines.
And I'm Georgia Lash. Here at Extra, we bring you expanded coverage of recently broadcast features from Sun City TV. Happy February! This is a month where love is the ongoing theme.
Looking at our story lineup, I think the show's theme is the love of learning. We're bringing you stories inside and outside our gates for your edification. Georgia, get us started.
I bet you've said this at least once. We feel pretty protected in our Sun City bubble. Our community leaders make sure we're staying safe. Just recently, our Resident Advisory Council brought us a very thorough fire safety program. SCTV was invited to record the presentation. It starts with the one-on-one conversation I had with Public Information Officer of the Bluffton Township Fire District. Sun City appreciates the presence of the Bluffton Fire Department, and we also appreciate the educational efforts you provide for us. So in that regard, what are key elements that we should all walk away with, that we should all be aware of to stay fire safe?
Well, there's so many residents that live in the Sun City community, and the important thing that you need to know is smoke alarms are your friend. We only have anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes to get out in the event that there's a fire. And so working smoke alarms are critical.
And I know even if it's chirping, it can be annoying, but we need to pay attention. Now, I know that the fire department is continuing to make ways for us to make your job easier, having information sheets and things that are available. Tell us, are some of the resources that are available to us on the website or other that really are important for us?
Sure. So one of the things that I think is most important for your viewers is CPR, knowing how to do cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Also knowing where your automated external defibrillators are, your AEDs, wherever you go, whether you're here at town center or if you're out at the pickleball courts, softball field, you need to know where those AEDs are located, because the quicker that we can get good quality chest compressions and AEDs, that will increase the survivability of somebody who experiences sudden cardiac arrest.
And I noticed on the website there's availability to have classes scheduled and things like that. So you're doing so much for us. I'm going to ask you one more thing, though. What's the update on Station 39, which is our prospective on-site fire station?
Well, I knew you were going to ask me that question. The great thing is it's in process. Ground has not been broken on it. There were some engineering challenges that needed to be worked out with regarding to a sewer line or stormwater line that was underneath the property. So that's been worked out. They've begun the preliminary process of the architectural review. And so we're well on our way. We're hoping to see that open up sometime in 2025.
Well, that's coming soon,
yes,
2025.
Coming soon.
Here are some excerpts from the presentation.
Our goal is to ensure that we're providing the highest level of care to our residents and our visitors. So that's part of that process. Our mission is to respond to our community in a kind and professional manner. And Chief Boulware will, he'll talk about this whenever he does presentations. If you ever experience a situation where one of our personnel doesn't treat you in a kind and professional manner, we want to know about it, because that's the heart of who we are. But just to give you an idea, Sun City is probably the primary location for the majority of our calls. Roughly 26% of the calls that we respond to on an annual basis occur right here in Sun City. So that kind of helps you understand why it was so important for us to make sure that we had another station right here in this facility. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. The types of calls that we respond to obviously are medical calls. We also respond to rescue calls, fire calls, hazardous conditions, and service calls. Last year alone, we responded to over 10,000 calls, roughly 10,600. Just this year alone, I pulled the statistic, we're currently running at about 2,193 calls in Sun City. So that's a pretty, that involve the Sun City area. So that's a pretty significant number for us out of that Station 34. Now, the thing that we have done to try to help alleviate some of the challenges that we faced with the Sun City call volume is we introduced a rescue squad just this year. Was that May of this year it went into service, Chief? Yeah. So May of this year, we implemented Squad 38. Squad 38 is staffed with a paramedic and an EMT, and that's a quick response vehicle. That allows us to more quickly get out to the general types of service calls. What that also does is it allows us to keep the engine in service so that if there is if there's a collision or if there's a structure fire or something of that nature, the individuals that are on the squad can also respond and keep that engine back in service. So it kind of serves that dual purpose there. So you're gonna see that. I put a picture up here. We just completed the renovation of Station 34. That was completed earlier this year, and that was a long process. We're thankful that process is over, right? I'm getting an amen from the right side or from the left side of the room. That was a long process, but it was very much needed. And if you haven't had a chance to take a look at that facility, please do. It's a great location, and we share that. That's a county-maintained facility, but we share that with Beaufort County EMS. CRR division, we do have a public CPR program. We teach classes throughout the community, throughout the year. We offer those twice a month in a public setting at our Station 38 right behind River Ridge Academy on Hampton Parkway. We also have smoke alarm program, and many of you have benefited from that. You've reached out to us and asked us to come change out your smoke alarm, to help change batteries. The reason why we feel that is so important, some people say, well, can't people change their own batteries, or can't people change out their own alarms? Absolutely they can. But you may not feel as comfortable climbing up on a ladder, and we don't want you to climb up on a ladder, because we would rather come out, replace the smoke alarm, replace the battery, than come out to respond for somebody who's fallen off of a ladder and has some sort of a traumatic brain injury or has broken bones. There's a long recovery process. So again, remember, we're part of the community risk reduction. One of the ways that we reduce the risk of you falling off of a ladder is we come out and take care of that service for you. Now, that is a free service. I know that's hard for us to advertise, because when you say free, everybody wants it. Yes.
Quick safety, you want to test all the smoke alarms at least once a month. If you're like my husband, you do that without really planning on doing that, by burning something in the oven and having to either fan it or push that test button to make it stop. But you do want to test them to make sure that they're working. Replace the batteries, as I mentioned, once a year, and replace those smoke alarms every 10 years. And if you don't know how old your smoke alarms are, another piece of information we're finding out, if you've bought your home within 10 years, it was not required for that previous homeowner to replace those alarms before they handed that home over to you. So your alarms may be out of date. We are happy to come and just check those alarms for you and let you know if they need to be replaced.
You can catch the entire interview and presentation on our Community Connections playlist on our YouTube station. Joanne, what's up next?
For the love of learning, Sun City TV has launched a new series called Did You Know? Here are the creators talking with news anchor Norma Taylor about this.
Well, welcome, guys. Well, I have a few questions, and ladies first. Carol, can you tell our audience about this new occasional news segment and how it came all about?
It is called Did You Know? And the leaders of Sun City TV felt that there are many interesting facets to Sun City that residents, both new and established, may not be aware of.
Yeah, you're right. So, Bill, during the early stage development of this mini news segment, what challenges did you face?
Putting together a 1 to 2 minute news brief required skilled writing and researching the history behind each topic. Old video clips and photos were needed to truly tell a compelling story. In addition, capturing new video and B-roll helped to fill the gaps.
Okay. Well, Carol, this sounds like quite a challenge for the two of you. So how many segments have you created so far?
Well, we're starting with a list of 20 possible topics. We've already done 2 stories, and we're currently undertaking our 3rd story segment. We're really excited about these new episodes, and we hope that Sun City residents will find them both informative and enlightening.
And we also hope some residents might find other topics that can help with the research of Did You Know?
Okay. Well, we hope that an occasional Did You Know in our news story lineup will give viewers another reason to watch our news show and give residents an opportunity to share these suggestions with their friends. So make sure you watch Did You Know?
Let's take a look at one of our SCTV Did You Know segments.
Sun City has numerous preserve areas or wetlands. One of them, the Nature Trail, is a special treasure where the majesty of the forest comes alive. Stretching across 107 acres of pristine wetland, the Nature Trail between Sun City Boulevard and Colonel T provides a tranquil and beautiful space for residents who enjoy watching birds and the occasional deer, or simply strolling along enjoying the peace and quiet of Mother Nature. Depending on the season, a variety of birds such as woodpeckers, cardinals, wrens, chickadees, hawks, and owls may be seen within the forest. The raised boardwalk Nature Trail gently zigzags approximately 1 mile through distinctive forest habitats, including bald cypress, water tupelo, red maples, and magnificent willow oaks towering above the forest canopy. For nearly 50 years, the Union Camp Corporation managed this site for timber production. Prior to that, Argent Land and Timber Company maintained this area primarily as a pasture land for cattle. Then in 2005, thanks to the efforts of Del Webb, volunteers from the Bird Club, and others, the Nature Trail became a reality. Wetlands such as this are protected by the Clean Water Act and help protect the water quality of the areas downstream and provide a place for seasonal floodwaters to go. If you haven't already, go explore and enjoy the beauty and serenity of the Nature Trail Preserve. And now you know.
Well, now we know.
There's still more to know. Our reporter, Martha Spizzo, was at First Friday to meet with Beaufort County Manager.
Okay, we're here today and welcoming Josh Gruber, who's the new city manager of Hardeeville. This is a great way to start 2025 because there's some exciting things happening. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you were doing before you were hired for Hardeeville.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity to be here today. While I'm new to the city of Hardeeville, I'm not new to this area, and so I've been here for almost 15 years now in the Low Country. I originally started out working for Berkeley County, just north of Charleston, spent a couple of years there, and then moved down here to Beaufort County and was with Beaufort County for almost 10 years. And then I've spent about the last 6 years on Hilton Head as the deputy town manager. And so now I've crossed over the river and the new city manager in Hardeeville, and I'm so excited about all the opportunities that we have in front of us.
Well, that's wonderful. The city manager is the backbone of the municipal administration, correct?
It is. You know, I say that I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none of them. So I'm familiar with all the operations that go on, be it finance or police or fire, but I'm certainly not an expert in any of those areas. I rely upon a lot of the professionals that we have at the town or at the city to take care of serving the public. But I'm here to make sure that we deliver an excellent quality of service to the public across all of our different divisions. And so that's what my role is going to be, is to make sure that we are providing that top level service to the public.
Good. That sounds like what a good leader does. Well, there have been several exciting announcements lately about things happening in Hardeeville that are going to really influence the economic and the industrial parts of Hardeeville. Can you tell us what we have to look forward to.
Absolutely. I'm excited about so many of the things that we have coming up. We focused a lot of our time on growing both our commercial base, but also our residential base. So we've got a lot of construction that's going on in all areas of the city right now. We added about 1,500 new single family homes last year, a number of multifamily homes, and then commercial. We're really excited about the new commercial opportunities that we have coming here. One of which is the new Buc-ee's that's going to be coming to Exit 8. So excited about that opportunity. And the fact that they were in discussions with the city and SCDOT for the last several years means that when DOT goes to widen I-95 and redesign Exit 8, they're doing it with Buc-ee's in mind to know that the traffic impacts that we know are going to come with that are already provided for in the designs that they've come up with.
Well, that's very exciting, and I know we are, as a community, we're excited to have them down the street in our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really happy that you're here, and you've got a lot to offer to the area. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I had a chance to meet with the new Beaufort County Administrator. My congratulations on becoming our new county administrator here in Beaufort County. You've been on the job since July 1st. I understand that you oversee 30 departments.
Yes.
And I wondered, what is your magic in trying to get that volume of responsibility and control?
Well, I think a lot of it's communication and just, making sure staff understands what's the direction, what do we need to get done, and why we need to get it done. And then I think leaving the creativity to the how to get things done to those who really understand the technical aspects of things are out in the field.
Now, you come to us with a background that I think might be helpful. I understand you're a 27-year veteran of the Navy.
Yes.
Are there any of those military skills that are kind of helping over here with the administrative skills?
Oh, absolutely. I think leadership and treating people the right way, those are kind of what I learned in the military. Understanding kind of a chain of command and how orders should be go down the chain, and then holding supervisors, making sure they're supervising their people. Those are all basics of military career.
Well, that was helpful to you, and thank you for that service. But I understand you've also come to us with a background in county administration. You were up in New York County, here in South Carolina. What attracted you here to the Beaufort area?
Well, it's hard not to be attracted to the Beaufort area. It's just a natural beauty. But, in particular, the military is here. I was very, I lived a long time in the military, so I enjoyed that aspect of it, of serving those folks. And then the tourism economy and the natural beauty, and then we do have extended family. They live here in Beaufort County, so that's also a help.
Oh, the kids are always a draw.
Yes.
They're always a draw. Now, I read a great article about you in Beaufort Lifestyles magazine. Yeah. And in that article, you mentioned that you are looking forward, that in 5 to 10 years, Beaufort County is thriving because of what you're doing right now. Yes. 6 months. Are there any priorities you can share with us that will get you in that positive direction?
Well, I kind of mentioned this earlier. Priority one for me is just making sure we have the right employees and treating them right and making sure that they're out doing the job every day. Then I think strategic planning is important, whether it be transportation, infrastructure, making sure we have the right projects that look out far enough so that we're investing properly now and completing those projects so they'll bear fruit in 5 to 10 years.
It was very nice of you to come in so early in your career to meet people from Sun City. We hope that maybe we can get you to stop in and maybe give us a little Beaufort County update every once in a while about this progress that you've got going.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I'd look forward to it. Thank you.
We look forward to the good news, too.
Yes, of course.
Thank
you.
you.
SCTV is so grateful to bring you our community information. Let's finish up with our favorite segment, Extra Special. Georgia, you have this one this month.
If February is the month of love, let's share the love we have for one of our local nonprofit organizations. We're shining the spotlight on Second Helpings. Their new executive director provides the insight to how and why they accomplish so much. Amy, I don't think you know this, but when I drive in our parking lot and I see one of these trucks, I get an instant smile on my face. So I'm privileged to be here with you as the new executive director of Second Helpings. Welcome to Sun City.
Thank you so much, Georgia. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Now, we have so many new residents. Let's give everybody an overview of the mission of Second Helpings.
Wonderful. Second Helpings has been around for 33 years. We started on Hilton Head Island. Our mission is to reduce hunger and food waste here in the Low Country in South Carolina. And we do that every day by picking up food that we rescue from our local grocery stores and restaurants, and we distribute them to our agency partners. So your soup kitchens, your community kitchens, your youth and senior citizen programs. A lot of times the food that we pick up in the morning is actually on somebody's plate by the end of the day.
Now, let's break this down a little bit because you've mentioned, what you're doing and the purpose. So where is the food sourced from? Where are we going here in this local area?
Last year in 2024, we distributed 3.3 million pounds of food in our 3-county area in Jasper, Beaufort, and Hampton counties. 90% of that comes from rescued food. So rescue food is defined as food that comes from our grocery stores that are often surplus, extra food, or near expiration date. We pick up the food every day. 2.9 million pounds of rescued food in 2024, and that's the food that we primarily distribute to our agencies.
Now, when you say that is it only grocery stores that you pick up from?
No, we do also have some restaurants or what you might consider like your Target, your Walmart, your Sam's Club that aren't just grocery stores, but we also have Nantucket Meat Market, Alvin Ord's. There's some restaurants who also donate to us.
Oh, that's excellent. Now, when the food leaves, how is it distributed to these sites? And how many sites actually receive the food?
Across the 3 counties, we have 54 agency partners. 23 of them are served by our Bluffton hub, which is here based out of Sun City. So 23 of our local agencies, Church of the Cross, Bluffton Self-Help, Bluffton Community Soup Kitchen, Agape, Mercy Mission, just to name a few of the names that I know people are familiar with in this area. So our volunteers pick up the food, and we use an equitable distribution model to make sure that we are serving our agencies, that they report to us how many people that they are feeding weekly, and then we utilize that model to make sure we're distributing equitably to all of our agencies.
That's amazing. It seems like such a complex but simple, beautiful thing that happens. Now, I don't know if our residents are aware, but when you go online, there are charity watchdogs that will monitor the charities to say, yes, they are serving the community that they are asking for contributions for. And so I had a chance to see Charity Navigator. And I looked up, of course, Second Helpings, Bluffton, Hilton Head area. And I think you should tell us what score you all received.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up because Charity Navigator is a national auditing tool for nonprofits. And we are proud to say that we have 4 stars, which is the highest that you can get, and a 99% score. And so they base that on multiple things. It's financial transparency, it's accountability, it's impact. And we are proud to say that for every dollar donated to us, we are able to provide enough food for 5 meals. In addition, every dollar donated to us, 98.6% of every dollar goes back into our mission and feeding our community.
It's again, I think you deserve a good grade. You all get the dean's list on this. And it makes us feel good as contributors. Now, I have to believe, and I'm sure you would tell us this, that the volunteers are a key element to this. It has to, it's riding on the back of the volunteers. So how many volunteers? Can you give us an idea?
I sure can. I can give you more than an idea. We have 468 active volunteers today. I like to say that we are a data-driven, volunteer-led organization, and we couldn't do it without our volunteers. Of that 468, 133 serve out of our Bluffton base, and 60 of them are residents here in Sun City. So for over 20 years, Sun City has supported us. Countless volunteers from Sun City have supported us over the years. I love hearing the stories from the residents about the friendships that they've made, getting to give back to your community with your neighbors. So the impact has just been huge of our volunteers.
Well, and they all seem so happy. I know we have gone out before. We've been over at the Palmetto Breeze bus terminal where the people come in and you set up that beautiful, looks like a farmer's market. And there was such joy among the volunteers. And it was fun to see, people that I know from Sun City, like you say. What are some of the roles that they do have? I know, obviously, our cameraman who's recording us right now, Bob Grando, he drives the truck. What else do our volunteers do?
Yeah, so we are reliant on truck drivers. So our truck drivers do have to be able to lift 40 pounds. We have truck crews. I've been part of a truck crew. So when you're going out to the grocery stores and the restaurants, it is nice to have a second or a third person who are either driving ahead, organizing the food, or helping us get it weighed and into the truck. We also have event volunteers. So we do some local fresh produce farmers markets, in addition to what you've seen at Fill the Need, which is a weekly program. So our volunteers have the opportunity to distribute fresh produce directly to the public. We have multiple opportunities in 2025 for that. There's community events. I always need somebody to help out at a volunteer fair, or just we're at Daily Cafe on Hilton Head Island, and we had volunteers who stood there and gave out information, and we had a restaurant who gave back to us from their proceeds. So there's just lots of opportunities. I'll find a place for them.
Now, I'll throw in another statistic. I might not get it right, but when I looked at the on the website, they did the impact study from 2023. But I had a jaw-dropping moment, because you talked about, we've got these drivers out there that in 1 year, they drove 90,000 miles.
Yes, and I'm not going to be able to answer that. I don't know. I know that it's 90,000 miles. I kept trying to think of what's the statistic of what we do here in Bluffton, and I don't have that. I have how much of our food is collected here, but I don't have that.
And I read that's something like 3 times around the world, and that's jaw-dropping. And the dedication involved.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I've been in my local grocery store and I've heard calling a team member for produce, second helpings is here. So I know that this is happening, but the reality of the results that you have is astounding. It's absolutely astounding. I have a feeling that while we are such a dedicated group of Sun Cityers and we allow you to have our parking spaces here, we enjoy that, what happens when we want to get some new people involved? What should they do?
Yeah, so you can either get onto our website and click volunteer, and there's a way to sign up online. You can call our office. We'll be happy to send you the information. After you submit your information to us, we meet with you. We do an orientation. We learn more about how you want to volunteer, and then make sure that we're signing you up in the right place. And then away you go, sometimes literally on a truck.
Well, it's wonderful to not have food be wasted. It's wonderful to help those who need it. And it's wonderful to meet someone who's willing to be in charge of all this. Amy, I wish you the best in your new endeavor as Executive Director.
Thank you so much, Georgia. Thanks for having us here.
And let's share a little love for our Bob Grando, our talented cameraman, who brought us this story and even recorded it. Bob has been a dedicated volunteer to Second Helpings. Well, that's our show for this month.
We hope you enjoyed learning more about the place you call home. Please join us again next month. You can always catch us on cable and on our YouTube station, where we invite you to subscribe for easy viewing.